Hello, this is John with Project Thrive from Belmont University. I want to talk with you today about attendance. One of the questions that's often asked is, why is attendance down? Well, there are a number of reasons for that. The first reason has to do with the American workforce. It's estimated that between 29 and 30% of the American workforce now works on Sunday. That's going to impact your attendance numbers. The second reason has to do with competition. Churches now face greater competition for Sunday time and energy than any other time before. There are shopping opportunities, there are sports leagues, there are online worship opportunities, and all that keeps people out of the building. A third reason has to do with the pandemic itself. It's estimated that about a third of those who came to church before the pandemic are not coming back. And there's some reasons for that. Some are still worried about COVID. Many are still fearful of the threat of being infected while being at church, and so they're not ready to come back. Then some are sort of angry at their church. Some felt like the church was not proactive enough in promoting social distancing or mask wearing, and so they're angry about that. And then some are on the other end of the spectrum, and they feel like their church was too cautious, that maybe they should have been back to in-person worship sooner than they were. And then some have just gotten very comfortable with online worship. Now, it's easy to say, hey, those people are lazy. They ought to be back in church. But the truth is, many have found an intimate, non-threatening worship experience while being in the comfort of their home. And so for them, it fits into their life better than being in person. So how do we frame a conversation about attendance? Are there different ways of looking at that? One thing is to count online worshipers. Whether your church is using Facebook Live or some other medium, it's important to consider how many people are actually watching. Some churches have discovered that more people are watching at home than are actually in person worshiping. And so we need to learn how to count the online worshipers. Another thing is to consider how many are watching throughout the week. In terms of web visits, are you able to count the number of people who are logging on to watch your worship service who maybe aren't watching on Sunday morning? That number could be significant. Then a third thing to consider is think about counting attendance month to month rather than week to week. You know, when I was growing up, a regular church attender was in church every single Sunday. Those days are gone. Now someone who is faithful in worship may be there only 2 times in the course of a month. So think about counting attendance month to month. How many individuals, distinct individuals, different individuals, are actually in your house of worship over the course of a month rather than over the course of a week? Attendance is challenging. Let's all get in this together. God bless you as you continue your work and your ministry.